Hey everyone, my name is Shadi. I'm actually with FFL Eagles. I'm just here trying to, create a little video for our agents and, hopefully that will be helpful. A lot of people actually are struggling on the phone script. I want to apologize for my handwriting. My handwriting is not the greatest, but at least can try to help you guys hopefully book more appointments because the phone is when you actually make most of your money. So the one thing I do really well at is I divide, instead of actually read out a script, I divide my script into 5 different steps. And I feel like that's a little easier to book the appointments without having to worry about, reading off a script and what if they, you know, cut me off, how I'm gonna get back into the script, yada yada. And then I learned this actually from Dan, where he actually the AAA methods, which is basically the 3 different steps on how to overcome objections. I'm gonna start doing these videos, once a week. Hopefully that will be helpful. Today we'll talk about phone. Maybe the next time we're gonna talk about, in-home and whatever it is we can talk about. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about the phone script here very quick on how we can run a lot of appointments. Number one, and I'm gonna write the steps down and then I'm gonna go ahead and explain each step and what they are. Starting with the 5 steps here. Step number 1, intro. So that's the one. Step number 1 is you gotta introduce yourself to the client, who you are and why you're calling, right? So that's what the introduction is for. So that's step number 1, right? And I'm gonna go over every step here once I'm done writing them down. So we got step number 2, which is verify info. So you verify the information, right? Hey, your date of birth is 1/1/2001, correct? So you verify the information with the client. And then the 3rd step, clear the schedule. So you gotta clear out their schedule, right? Little tip, never tell them you're coming over unless you clear out their schedule. Because guess what? The minute you tell them you're coming over, the minute they're gonna tell you I'm busy, can meet you. Even though they have all the free time in the world, they're just busy, right? They don't wanna meet you. Nobody likes insurance agents. So you don't wanna tell them you're coming over till you clear out their schedule first, which I'm gonna go over that, like I said, in a minute. And then step number 4, guys, it will be book the appointment. Which basically after you clear out the schedule, now you know when you can go there, right? And last step, which is step number 5, tie down. So I'm gonna go over that here very quick. Intro. So the intro. So we have here, hey, my name is Shadi. I'm getting back with you. Hey James. Yes, James. My name is Shadi. I'm just getting back with in regard to that form you filled out for the life insurance information. So this is the intro. And you gotta remember, never pause. You cannot pause in the middle. Obviously, when you're a new agent, it's gonna happen, and that's okay. It really does. The whole thing is, that's how you practice. That's why the first 3 months, 2 months, it's probably gonna be very hard and it's gonna be a struggle on your end. But at the end of the day, it's gonna happen where you get better. Just like riding a bicycle, right? When you give a kid a bicycle, they're gonna fall maybe 10, 15, 20, 30 times. But at the end of the day, they're gonna, get on that bike and they're gonna be better than you probably at it. And the same thing goes in here. Once you get better at actually, following these steps, it becomes very instant, where you don't have to worry about reading of the steps or reading of a script or anything like that. So again, intro. Hey James, this is Shadi. Just getting back with you in regard to that form you filled out for the life insurance information. So it's very, very simple, right? And then you go straight to step number 2. Very quick, Mr. James. I got your date of birth as 1/1/2001. That correct? And then, that way, yeah, this is correct. Hey, James, very quick. Are you working or retired? This is how you clear out their schedule. So the one thing you need to know is, I don't care if they're working, if they're retired, or they're disabled. The only reason I'm asking this question is to verify whether they're gonna be home tomorrow or not. Who cares if they're retired? I'm still gonna get them the same exact coverage as if they're working. Same thing. The only thing difference is by doing that, it's actually a smoother way to figure out their schedule without asking them what time you're off from work, right? So if I'm clearing their schedule and they're gonna tell me I'm working, hey, James, so I don't bother you at work. What time are you usually home from work? If they're retired, hey, do you have any doctor appointment the next couple of days? The reason I'm asking these questions, like I said, is I don't care whether they have doctor appointments, whether they're working or retired. All I care for is I want to try to figure out time where I'm going to go there and meet with them, right? The one thing I'm going to tell you is if I would have told them, hey, I'm coming over to your house very quick. Are you working or retired? Well, guess what? They're going to say, I'm working, I'm too busy, I don't think I can meet you. But if you would have cleared their schedule first, then call them, then book the appointments, it'd be you realize that'd be a little easier. Another thing I realized, and again, this is me, everybody has different opinion on this, right? But the other thing I realized when, as I was doing this, when you tell them you're coming over, a lot of them, they're shy to tell you not to come, but they'll book you on a time that they're not gonna be home. And this is how your no-show rate goes high. So that's one thing that I focused on as I was doing this business. And guess what? It worked really well for me. My no-show rate went really low, and I was able to sit with more clients just because I followed these steps. So, number 3, clear their schedule, right? Hey, you're working? Okay, what time are you typically home from work so I don't bother you at work? Around 4. Okay, perfect. Now go straight to step number 4. Hey, around 4 is kind of a little steep for me just because I'm helping 9 families in the area, but I'm gonna squeeze you in as hard as I can. I'm gonna try to be there between 4:30, if not maybe 5:30, just to go over the information here with you. Very quick, I got your address on file as 123 Main Street, correct? So I go straight ahead and I'm letting them know I'm coming over. I'm not asking them, can I come over, right? I'm not asking them what works for you best. I am actually fitting them into my schedule. And that's the one thing that if you tell them when can I come over, they're gonna tell you never. That's why you gotta fit them into your schedule, because these people, they fill the form out, they're requesting our help, you gotta be there to help them out, right? That's why we do this business, to protect families. We don't do this business, yes, we all wanna make money, but we all wanna protect families, right? Obviously, step number 5, so step number 3 and 5 are the most important one. Because step number 5, if you don't tie down the appointment, you will get no-shows as well, right? Even if you followed all these 4 steps. Tie down is very simple as such. Let them imagine, because there was a misunderstanding in the conversation. As you go to step number 4, where, I didn't know you were coming over, right? So let them, tie down is more of like, let them imagine you coming over. Hey, I'll be driving a red Mazda. You see a red Mazda in the driveway, throw a little joke, keep your baseball or your shotgun away, little joke right there. Hey, the numbers are on the mailbox or on the house or both, stuff like that. Just, tie down, let them imagine you coming over. Hey, what's the color of the house? Can I find in the GPS? Stuff like that. So tie down is really, really important, and clear the schedule is really important, because if you don't clear the schedule, you will get a no-show, right? So that's why tie down and clear the schedule are the best way to focus on, and make sure you follow these steps if you want to get less no-shows in here in general, right? Now, I'm not saying it's gonna work on everybody, right? You're gonna get people hang up on you. It's part of the business. Don't get emotional. Get your emotion out of the way and focus on building your business. Focus on, booking your appointments. Never talk about insurance with client on the phone, because when you do, you're done. When you give them a quote, you're done. A lot of clients will try to tell you, hey, give me a quote over the phone. I see, never do that, because if you do, you're done. If a client tells me, give me a quote over the phone, I tell them, hey, it'll probably be between $20 to $150. We don't know till we run your MIP report. That's why I need to meet with you in person. I need to verify you're not strapped to hospital bed, 700 pounds, smoking cigarette kind of thing. It's just a way to kind of overcome that and not to give them any quotes over the phone, because if you do, you are done. You're not going to be able to book the appointments anymore. So those are the 5 steps of process. Now you will get a lot of objections in between. The whole goal behind this, you want to be able to get back on track. And you will struggle at first getting back on track. And this is also normal, right? Especially when you're new. Now, you get back on track, it's very simple. And that's something what I learned from actually Dan, which is agree. We call it the AAA methods. So agree, acknowledge, and ask questions. Okay, so, hey, so you will get, I'm not interested. Hey, I'm not interested neither, but I'm responsible to get this information over to you. You still have 123 Main Street, correct? I already have a coverage. Hey, I know you have a coverage. My job is simple, just to go over that information with you, make sure that you qualify. You still have 123 Main Street, correct? So every single time getting objections, I'm following these little steps. I agree, acknowledge, ask questions. Either if the question could be the house, could be what color is the house, could be, you verify the birth if you haven't verified it. I mean, there's multiple ways to be able to verify or ask questions. You should just come up with it instantly. I already have a coverage. I know you have a coverage. I'm the local manager, just gotta go over that information with you. You still have 123 Main Street, correct? Very, very simple. Do not overcomplicate it. A lot of people get into this business, they overcomplicate the phone, and that's when they actually end up losing their mind, right? This is how, if you follow these steps, obviously if you're doing CRM leads, you need at least 100 leads to be able to book 10 appointments, so 200 leads to book you 20, especially if you're a beginner, and follow these steps. And again, follow these steps if you want to overcome objections. Other thing I want to talk about, guys, is I'm going to talk about lead very quick, because a lot of people are worried about the lead source of it. So I will talk about that for like maybe 1 minute, and then I'll get that over with, so I don't overwhelm you with a lot of stuff today. Okay, so the lead, the way I look at it, there's multiple type of leads. There's mailers and there's internet lead, right? So you get the mailers, and you got the CRM. So the one thing is, with a CRM, you got difference. You got the internet, the instant, and you got the internet, and then you got other like $6 ones, which they're like 6 months old, I think. And then you got the old mortgage, the old final expense mailer, and got a big list in there. With the mailers, you got the mortgage and final expense. Okay, so these usually about $11 per lead, and again, you do get a discount if you're part of WorkSpot. So, and then these about $9 per lead. These I think about $6 per lead, and these right here, the old mortgage is like $2, and this like $2. So these right here, they can go anywhere between 56 to 70, and these from 35 to like 45. Those are per lead, right? The one thing you need to understand is this. you get what you pay for in this business. Now, you want to start here, maybe move here, it's up to you. This is your business, you do whatever you want. But the one thing is, you gotta know, when you run instant lead, the booking ratio on that is anywhere between 10 to 15% per lead. So if you actually have 200 leads, if you're a beginner, probably be 7%. 200 lead will get you 14 appointments. Yeah. So you need at least 200 leads instant to have 14 appointments. And trust me, if you know how to run a business or you're smart enough, you'll do the math. You figure it out, right? How many appointments you want, do the math on how many leads you need, right? Obviously, with this, you want to grind harder, but if you want to get here, that's also up to you, right? But I wouldn't suggest you to get here if you don't have the cash flow, because this can go really high if you don't have the cash flow for it. The other thing is, if you're looking at this, the booking ratio on the final expense mailer is usually about 50%. So the one thing about that is when you actually running the final expense mailers, if you need 100 to book 50. So again, do the math, right? And then the mortgage protection is usually about 60%. So you need 100 to book 60, which also do the math. And this is how you actually, but everything is the same. It's not like I'm gonna go to instant lead and sell it for I sold instant lead for 5, 6, 7 grand, and I sold mortgage for like 1,500. So it's all about how you build that report. Obviously, like I said, I'm not gonna talk about in-home yet. We'll talk about that in the next video. In the meanwhile, I appreciate you all, and if you have any questions, feel free to always reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my cell phone, 614-370-8737. I'll be more than happy to assist you guys. That's what I'm here for. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day, guys.